I'm sitting here now with the head coach at Harvard, Tjerk. Tjerk, you've been here for more than 10 years. Can you tell us a little bit more what makes Harvard so special, and Harvard field hockey in particular?
Well, Harvard is Harvard. I think that already should say enough, but I think Harvard is a very special place for people who want to indulge and really explore their being. And of course, it's a school that provides an unmatched academic opportunities and really will challenge people, and it's a great school for people who want to explore where their boundaries are, where their interests lay, and enable them to fulfill their full potential and get ready for the next phase in their lives. And I think from the environment, the campus community, everything is really driven by a lot of very smart, intelligent, but also very ambitious people, which creates an environment where people typically want to be successful. People get dragged into that very easily. So that's so much about Harvard. And Harvard Field Hockey is a great place. I think we're very proud of the team and the team culture that we've built here over the last 10 years. We want to excel in anything that we do, and that also means for the field. I think for being on the field, I think one thing that really makes us special is that we want to win championships. We want to compete with the best teams in this country, but we're not willing to make any academic sacrifices. So we create an environment where people have their social lives, they have their ability to graduate Harvard the way they want to, having a full course load, taking the courses that they want to take, while we also keep working really hard on the field and work smart to eventually put ourselves in position to win championships.
Right, so you do mention like it's a special place because of the high academics here. It's probably a school that's known by almost everyone in the world. For field hockey, you play in the NCAA D1. You're an Ivy League school. Not everyone knows that's the actual conference that you play in. Can you tell a little bit more about the difference about a normal D1 school and an Ivy League school, like the difference in workload and regulations and that?
Yeah, so the Ivy League and all Ivy League schools, they really have prioritized the academics, where people who come to an Ivy League institution like Harvard, they really need to commit to get a degree here. That is foremost the most important part. We also run into academic and athletic conflicts, but academics and being successful in the classroom has the priority. So that means that we sacrifice here and there every now and then on the athletic side. The spring is where the biggest difference shows by having less time, and what it pretty much comes down to is that our student athletes work or will have to work a little bit more independently on themselves, utilizing the resources without the coaching staff to fulfill their athletic dreams. And in season, we're very similar to all the other Ivy League, the non-Ivy League schools, where we are able to spend the hours that we need to, where we can travel, where we can compete. We are maybe a little bit more careful with travel days and being away from campus, because the priority and the main focus is really having a successful academic career. And I think in general, the Ivy League philosophy is that you're always first a student, and there are no specific resources available for student athletes that are not available to any of the other student population. So it becomes a little bit more on the student athlete themselves to create that lifestyle that allows them to be successful. But with that, I think Ivy League institutions have proven to be able to be very successful in any athletics event, with balancing their academic workload plus the athletic requirements, and they are still maintaining a social life, which is important too. So differences, absolutely, but still very well capable of achieving success while still getting a education that certainly sets people aside once they have the degree.
Yeah, that's different than what normal D1 schools. Also, the type of players they recruit, it takes like a special person, of course, to be able to get accepted into Harvard to play for one of the sports teams here. Talking about your field hockey team, you mentioned earlier it's a young team. Where do you see it growing from here and for the future years?
Well, as I said before, we want to compete for championships, and those are Ivy League championships, but also beyond that. We had a great showing 2 years ago and made it to the Final Four, and I think that was an experience that we all would love to have again. We are Harvard, so that allows us to recruit some of the best talent from around the world. And there is no reason why we should not be successful. And I think one of the great things that is part of a place like Harvard is that people are ambitious, they're very driven, they're committed to doing hard work, And that's not only on the academic side, that's also on the field. So we have to utilize our time wisely because we maybe have a little bit less of it, but that doesn't mean that we hold back on reaching our full potential. And the way I look at it and the way I think we can manage this is that if we maximize our full potential on the field, we should be able to compete with the best teams in this country.
One last question I have is just what is the most fun part of your job being the head coach here of the field hockey team?
I think really the different and various type of people that you meet that really would like to attend a school like Harvard. It really is amazing what most of these student athletes actually do beyond playing field hockey and beyond their normal major. They have such a elaborate interest and broad interest of all different type of things, and we kind of like to have the holistic approach as coaches towards our student athletes. So we do ask about their lives outside the hockey, and we want to be involved in their academic lives to the extent necessary. And when you hear what they are doing, what kind of thesis subjects they take or decide to take, what kind of interest they have to do, how to spend their summer, it really is truly amazing to be involved and be surrounded by so many people who just are brilliant thinkers and able to really be innovative and think about what is next, and that is a pretty rewarding environment to be in.
Yeah, so not just the field hockey coach on the field, but also you're spending a lot of time.
It goes a little bit further, and we do believe that once people are taken care of as student athlete or as students, they're not going to be a better athlete because of it. So we have that approach. But yeah, we look to be involved to the extent that the student wants to, and that they need to be successful, and not just only on the field, but also in their social life and also on their academic career, because it is about that balance.
Great. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for the tour earlier.